Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you my favorite taquitos de papa con carne asada. So if you want to learn how to make them, just stay tuned and I'll show you how. Alrighty guys, so let's get started with our ingredients. So for this recipe we're going to need corn tortillas, oil for frying, 2 pounds of thin sliced steaks, 1/4 of a cup of lime juice, orange juice, and avocado oil, sliced onion and chopped cilantro, 4 russet potatoes, queso Oaxaca, 2 minced garlic cloves, and all of our spices that are always listed in the description box. So these are ingredients. Now let's get started. All right, so to a bowl we're going to add our orange juice, lime juice, oil, minced garlic, along with all of our spices. We're just going to give it a good mix. And here you're able to taste the marinade to see if you need to adjust any of the seasonings. But once we have that, now we're going to add our steaks. And I'm using thin chuck steaks. That's just the cheaper alternative, but of course you can always use flank, flap, or skirt. Now we're just going to make sure that the steaks get nice and coated with the marinade. And once we have that, we're going to mix in the sliced onion and cilantro. Give it a good mix. Now we're just going to cover it with plastic wrap and allow it to marinate. Meanwhile, we prepare the potatoes for our taquitos. So we're just going to peel our potatoes. Remove any dark spots on it. And this is just going to speed up the cooking time of the potatoes. But of course, you can always boil them as a whole. It would just take about 45 minutes. All right, so once we have our potatoes, we're just going to give them a quick rinse. Okay, so now we're just going to roughly chop them into medium pieces. Okay. And then transfer them to your saucepan. Now that we have our potatoes, we can get ready to cook them. Okay, now we're going to season our potatoes with a good amount of salt. Now just cover them with water. Set it over medium heat and bring them to a boil. Okay guys, so once our potatoes come to a boil, allow them to cook for 15 minutes or until they're nice and tender. Alright, so after 15 minutes, our potatoes should be done. Of course, make sure that you check them. And as you can see, they're fork tender. So now we're just going to drain them from the water. Alright, now that we drain our potatoes, we're just going to smash them down. And here, if you taste your potatoes, they should be well seasoned. So we don't have to add any more salt, but we are going to be adding some black pepper and garlic powder. Now just mix it. Okay, now that we have that, we can mix in our queso Oaxaca. And just like that, we have our potato filling. So now we can get ready to make our taquitos. Okay, guys, so now that we're ready to make our taquitos, we're just going to soften our tortillas. And I just like to place them in the microwave. Just stack them and then wrap them into a paper towel. And now that we have them, it's going to get a tortilla, get our potato filling, and just kind of stretch it. And just add a little bit. You don't want to add too much. Now that we have it, we're just going to roll it and make sure that it is nice and tight, just like that. Okay. And we repeat the process with the rest of our tortillas. And at this point, make sure that your oil is heating up over medium heat. So like that, it's nice and hot when it's time to fry them. Alright, so now that we have our taquitos, we're going to carefully place them in our hot oil. Make sure you put them seam down. Hold it for a few seconds. And just allow them to get nice and golden all around. Okay, so once the taquitos are nice and golden all around, just going to remove them from the oil. Drain them on paper towels. And just repeat the process with the rest of the taquitos. Alrighty guys, and while the taquitos are cooking, we're going to begin to cook our meat. So make sure you set your comal over medium-high heat. Place it in there. And allow it to cook completely. Alright, so once our steaks are fully cooked, we're just going to remove them from the heat and continue cooking the rest of our steaks. Alright guys, so once we cook all of our meat, I like to chop my meat into small pieces and just throw it back into the skillet. And this is just going to keep it nice and hot until it's time to serve. Okay. So once we have our meat, we can now get ready for the fun part. Alrighty guys, and once we have our taquitos de papa and carne asada, we can now get ready for the fun part, and that's serving. So I'm just going to get my taquitos. And of course, you can top them with all of your favorite toppings. I'm just going to top it with my blended guacamole. Going to add my sour cream. Top it with some queso Oaxaca and medium cheddar cheese. Now here we're going to add our carne asada. Going to be adding a little lettuce and topping it with some crema mexicana. And of course, your favorite salsa. Here I have my salsa de árbol and my salsa verde. Now you want to enjoy them as soon as you serve them. But just like that, we have our delicious tacos de papa con carne asada. Alrighty guys, and now for the best part, the taste test. Now let me tell you guys that I hope you give this recipe a try. These tacos de papa with the carne asada are seriously super easy to make, so delicious. You know, tacos de papa are a staple in my home, and I'm sure in many households that adding the carne asada, it just takes it to a whole new level. So I hope you give them a try and enjoy them just as much. Cheers and enjoy. So simple, yet so delicious. Now, of course, you have to save them. You have to enjoy them as soon as you serve them. But this right here, so good. Alrighty guys, and there you have it on how I make my super easy and delicious taquitos de papa con carne asada. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and if you get this recipe, please don't forget to tag me in any of my social medias. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button so you guys keep part of our family. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.